So the question is basically, how do you guys work together? Your husband and wife, so your life partners.
You should read it exactly as somebody posted
it. I don't even have it ready, but okay. But yeah, the question is basically like, how do you guys continue to work together, be life partners together, all those things when, how does that work? So how does it work, Hannah? It's funny because when I read him that question, we kind of both looked at each other and I'm like, don't say a word, don't answer it. Let's answer it live.
How have you managed to be working partners and life partners all this time?
It might sound sarcastic, but I'm serious.
And still look gosh darn cute on camera. So she was talking about you.
Clearly. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
So guys,
the longevity
good question.
Part of it.
So we've been asked that question several times is, how do you stay married when you work together? And this kind of goes with any business. Real estate investment is a business.
We are working together. We're husband and wife. We are also business partners. There's a few things that over the years, because we've been doing this working together because in our previous business too, so 25 years, probably?
Well, pretty much since we got married, yeah. The first 2 years, maybe we
97. Didn't. Since October 97, yeah. So, okay.
25 years.
So, There's a few things that we had to learn and put in place. For one, we had to say things like, okay, there are no, we cannot talk about work at dinner. You have to put some sort of boundaries in. Okay, so maybe it's dinner time.
Although we've talked about it at dinner, like
occasionally you have to.
Occasionally it happens,
but as a rule,
for the most part, we try to leave work at work, and that's not the easiest thing to do. But if you're trying to do that, that could definitely help.
Yeah. So we put some rules in place, and that's the bottom line, guys. So if you're working with a life partner, we highly recommend putting some rules in place. That might be that you only talk about business at breakfast, or maybe you don't talk about it when you're having a meal together, or you have a weekly meeting so that you get everything out at once. Sometimes it's hard to switch between, oh, honey, do you want to have a glass of wine on the deck? And
sure.
Why the heck did you not get that contract or that quote done, or whatever it might be, right? It's hard to switch between that and
why is that property still vacant?
Not right, and not have hard feelings when you're switching back to husband and wife. So you need to put boundaries in place.
Absolutely. And along with that, as Kevin brought out, him and Nadine handle different parts of the business, and that's probably the biggest thing that has helped us is, I take care of, when it was come to real estate investment, I took care of the buying, the number crunching, the negotiations, anything to do with buying the property, anything to do with selling the property. And then, we have different departments. Tiff took care of the tenants. I don't want to make it sound like I did all of this and then Tiff just did this, because she's done way more than I have.
I've been working for 20 years on it. He got to do the buying and be
done. Yeah. So but even when it comes to properties and stuff like that, like some of that, taking care of the maintenance. I mean, you've done that, I've done that, but we've tried to.
We have departments.
What's the word?
Compartmentalized.
Yeah, compartmentalize the business so that we each have divisions of it, that sort of thing. Oops.
Okay, so first, boundaries. Set your boundaries. Have your personal time, your family time. Okay. But also set aside time to talk about things so that you can't just say, oh, we're husband and wife, we can't talk about business unless, we're at work or whatever. No. You need to talk about these things too, but set some boundaries, some clear boundaries that you both are comfortable with, stick with it. Secondly, like Kevin said, you know what, we have different departments, and here's the key on that one. So we said we had different departments too. And Kevin, I know you and Nadine are amazing. So you guys probably have this way figured out far before we did. But we had our own departments, but then we each felt that we had a say in each other's department anyway. So he might say to me like, well, how come this property isn't rented? How come? So what are you doing for it? Do you have, can I read your ad? Is it any good? Or, what incentives you're offering it? Whatever. He wouldn't really actually say those things so pointedly. He's wiser than that, I think. But, and I might be on him asking him questions. At the end of the day, yeah, can we get feedback on each other's? Yeah, this is my business too. This is my livelihood. But at the end of the day, he's the final say on anything to do with numbers, sales related stuff, all of that kind of stuff, strategy. That's his department. I can have input, but at the end of the day, he gets last say, and I know that. Same thing the other way. In my department, he can give me his opinion all he wants. If I don't agree with it, I get last say. And we had to respect, again, those boundaries in saying, you know, if you trust me and I trust you to be doing each other's jobs, our respective jobs, then someone has to be steering that ship. And it can't be two people, because that's just going to cause problems.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And you know, when it comes to all of this too, it's just remembering that what's more important in life, you know, for me, Tiffany's more important than money. Tiffany's more important than work.
Golf?
Okay, let's not get carried away here.
Okay.
Just kidding. But it's all about just remembering what's important. And like we might have a vacant property for 6 months because Tiff hasn't filled it or something like that. But like, you know, should we be fighting about that? Is that more important? No. So, you know, money comes and goes, properties come and go, businesses can come and go. But hopefully your life partner, your husband, your wife, whatever it is there to stay. And so, you know, you want to do what you can to make sure that that relationship is stronger than your business relationship, I think.
Really, at the end of the day, we make time for our business. You have to make time for your business, but we also make time for our personal time, and nothing gets in on that. So that definitely helps. Has it been perfect?
She knows not to call me when I'm golfing, right? Like, especially, no, not to call me about work stuff.
Okay. Okay. But I did a couple weeks ago, and he was like, I'm golfing right now. I can't help you. Well, and I'm like, wow, are you friggin' kidding me? Are you serious right now?
Yeah. And you remember, it's not going to be perfect, right? You're still going to have.
I'm married to him. Come on. No, but at the end of the day, you learn lessons. I quit in our first business. It was so funny because he came into our office. I was doing the office side of things.
You tell this story all the time.
All the time. Anyways, so I quit on him because he came in and he's like, well, this isn't done, that's not done, because he was in the business prior to me. Then we bought it off of the old company and I came in and joined him, but he'd already worked there, so he knew how everything was working. He's like, what about this, what about this, what about that? And I was like, yeah, I'm getting to it eventually, but there's this. And he's like, well, I used to do it all. I'm like, all right, you go right ahead. So I quit.
That was in 1997. That was 25 years ago.
That was. Yeah. And you know what? It was good because it showed him like, oh yeah, she is doing something. But also it showed me what happened when I left for 3 days. That wasn't fun either to come back to. So anyways, have we had issues? Absolutely. But whatever. You figure it out. Okay, guys. Right. Have a great week. Take care.
See ya.
Cheers.